This is my grandmother Ethel's life story. She was born in the East End of London in 1905. My grandmother's mother was called Emelia, and she had Welsh ancestry. Her father, David Morris Thomas, had left his Welsh home and had come to London and sought work as a coachman and groom in the late 1800s. They worked in the Stoke Newington area of East London and had many children, including Emelia. When Emelia herself married Thomas Sharman, he was also a coachman, and he drove his coach around the streets of East London. But unfortunately, after Ethel was born, the youngest child, in 1906, Thomas Sharman died after being kicked in the head by his own horse. This left Emelia a widow, and she had to provide financially for herself and her children. Ethel's oldest sister, Olive, who was married herself to Charlie Palsy and had children, helped her mother look after the rest of the family. After her husband died, Emelia had to go and work in a soup kitchen in South London. It would be the job of my grandmother Ethel and her brother Arthur to go and collect a big tureen of soup from their mother's soup kitchen to take home to feed the family at the end of the evening. Life was very poor for my grandmother growing up in the East End. They lived for a time at 46 Libra Road in Bow, and here you can see there's a lot of little children all looking out of the window in the basement flat where my grandmother lived. And here is my grandmother with one of her sister's children in the pram, and they all lived in this very cramped, crowded house in Libra Road in Bow. That was my grandmother, all her brothers and sisters, her mother, and also her sister Olive's husband and their children, and they all lived in a few rooms in the basement of this house in Bow. My grandmother did, however, get to join the Girl Guides, and she was a Girl Guide right at the very beginning of the formation of the Girl Guiding community. Because she was the youngest of the family, she often had hand-me-down clothes, never had anything new, and she left school at 14 with no qualifications, and her only options were to go into domestic service or work in a factory, which is what she ended up doing. And in the second part of this video, I will tell you more about her life.